Vincent, earlier in the year, NYSE Euronext Deutsche Börse deal was knocked back by regulators, and they howled. They said, look, us being a monopoly is not the problem. The problem is that a new entrant can emerge here any time. And it looks like that day is soon to arrive.
Absolutely, yeah. We had CME Group this morning, which is by far the world's biggest exchange operator, saying that it was going to set up a London-based futures exchange by the middle of next year. This is exactly the kind of thing that NYSE Euronext and Deutsche Börse were scared of when they announced at the end of last year that they were going to merge.
And these guys aren't small, right? Remind readers that.
Absolutely. These are big exchange groups themselves. I mean, Eurex, the Deutsche Börse's futures exchange, is huge. Liffe, which is NYSE Euronext one, is also very big. But they're not as big as CME. CME has almost total control of the US futures and derivatives market.
Almost $20 billion market cap, something like that?
Exactly, about $20 billion market cap. But the volumes and the turnover that CME has is just phenomenal. The European market is divided between Liffe and Eurex, but they have different kinds of products, so they're not really, strictly speaking, in direct competition. But they wanted to merge to protect themselves, and the European Commission said, sorry guys, you can't have that. And now CME is taking advantage of that.
So the idea is that CME will come in with some kind of Trojan horse of a product, in this case sort of FX derivatives, and presumably will start to offer other products.
I think that must be the game plan, yes, because two things have happened recently that made this an attractive move for CME. One was blocking the merger, and the other was CME was one of those companies that wanted to buy the London Metal Exchange, but actually decided that it didn't want to pay the ridiculous price that the LME actually went for in the end. So organically is the way it's going. It's setting up, it already has a lot of people in London. It has a clearing system here in London already, and I think it won't be long before it's ready to offer a pretty full stable of products to European-based investors. It's already getting 20% of its business from Europe anyway.
Right, and have they talked about the amount of money they're committing yet, or any of those type of details?
No, we haven't had anything like that, but I don't think it's a material amount of money, really. I mean, they have already clearly spent money in bringing establishing the clearing base for Europe, and they have about 150 people working in London already. I don't think it would really be that material. I mean, launching a new exchange is not cheap, but I think for CME it's kind of second nature, and the infrastructure to a large extent is already there.
And what happened to the Deutsche Börse share price today, for example?
Well, I think they're pretty flat at the moment, because I think that it will be difficult to compete against or to win business away from Deutsche Börse and Liffe, because the products are quite different. I think the threat is in the longer term, and this is where I think Deutsche Börse and NYSE Euronext can sort of turn to the European Commission and say, we told you this was going to happen, you didn't listen to us.
Yeah, well, that's one thing for regulators to remember. This is still a very competitive industry. Thanks very much, Vincent.